Hello there, this is MetaMarks, and after a bit of a delay on making videos for a while due to some salmonella poisoning and other related health issues resulting from don't eat runny eggs, guys. I'm back. I'm gonna show some War Thunder. I'm gonna make some other videos too of some other games that I'd like to get finished up. But while I was sick and unable to really do a whole lot, I decided to maybe try out realistic battles in War Thunder, which is one of the 3 modes that you can play in War Thunder. This is the second mode. I'll talk about it once we get into it. In it, I'm going to fly one of my favorite planes, the i-16 Type 18 Ishak, and that was a Soviet fighter plane made in the 1930s, flown a lot early in the war in particular. Not by design, mainly because of the great need for airplanes that the Soviets had at the time. It's got 4 machine guns on it with 2,600 bullets, and we won't be worrying about reload time. It's got pretty decent turn statistics, turns pretty sharp, rate of climb's pretty high. Max altitude's not the highest, but it's alright. Max speed, it's alright for a 1930s plane. It's pretty solid. So we'll get into this replay here and show you what a realistic battle is like. And also, it's my, 4th ever, 5th, 6th maybe, ever realistic battle. So again, I don't claim to be very good at this game, but you know, it's fun. I really like it a lot. So I should also know I've scrawled things on the side of this plane, and that's Zarodny, or Zorodina, rather, and Za Stalina, which is for the motherland, and for Stalin, because why not? It's, that actually, they gave that chalk to Soviet soldiers to, paint the planes white for winter, and they ended up graffitiing the planes instead because that's way more fun. Okay, so I still don't know how to get HUDs if it's ever possible in War Thunder to show up, so you won't be able to see my speed and stuff specifically. But I'm flying out my Ishak. In this mode, you have to take off. You don't start off way up in the air, and I can get markers to show up though, so hooray for that. But this is realistic mode. It's different from arcade in a couple important ways. So, for one, the planes fly a lot differently. Physics are a lot more, quote, realistic in this mode. So, the planes don't handle it quite so straightforwardly. You have more realistic mission objectives. Like, I believe in this one we're supposed to be destroying bridges. I'm a fighter, so I'm not, and I don't have any bombs, so I'm not going to deal with that. I'm just going to try and kill their fighters so that our bombers can do their thing. You don't get a lead indicator when you attack. Normally you get a little dot that kind of gives you an idea of where to aim. You don't get that in this mode. Clouds obscure you more directly. The sun obscures you more directly, so you're a little harder to see in those sorts of situations. And going at very high speeds can cause your plane to break apart from G-forces. And also pretty interesting out of the bunch, you can also blow your engine up if you overheat it. So that's another thing to have to worry about too. And unlike an arcade, your ammo doesn't reload automatically. You have to land once you run out of ammo. So it makes it, you know, a little bit more realistic. Also, I still don't understand how sound works in this game. So occasionally the engine sound is gonna cut out. I don't know why. Mainly because that help the ground forces capture the airfield thing comes into play. So we need to just get kills on ground units and stop them from getting kills on ground units. The Ishak does, as I mentioned, have a pretty good climb rate, so you're gonna see me stagger climb here. So basically what I'm going to do for stagger climbing is you go straight for a little bit, build up speed, don't wep, just, you know, you have the engine at 100%, you just go straight, build up speed, and then you climb and wep hard. And then you do this little roll thing to get yourself back to where you're barely climbing and building up speed again for your next climb. So it looks like you're kind of going up steps. As you'll notice if you watch the other videos where I play in arcade, realistic's a lot more slower paced. In arcade, you spawn in and within like a minute or two you're fighting in close-range dogfights. In realistic mode, there's a fly-out period where you kind of get to pick which altitude you're going to go at. You get a lot of time to climb up to height from your airfield, from the ground, and you can kind of select what you're going to do. Another thing about realistic is that clouds obscure you a lot more. You have a little radar thing normally in the top right-hand corner of the screen, and that will show you the rough position of enemies and allies. In realistic, that's a lot less helpful than it is in arcade, as far as I know. And clouds make you disappear, so people can't target you. Our IL-4, named the Lance Aces, has managed to destroy a bridge, which is apparently a mission objective. I'm looking at my cockpit here, which you can't see. I don't know why it doesn't just shift us into cockpit view. I'm trying to find where my horizon indicator is, because in these clouds, I can't tell if I'm facing, which direction I'm facing, if I'm upside down or not, basically. And I'm losing speed, and I can't, I'm climbing too high, so I need to figure out a way to fix that. So I'm going into the this first-person view, and those triple thick bars are the horizon, so I'm trying to get my climb going on here. In real life, that wouldn't really be a problem, because you can always kind of tell which direction is up. But in this game and in the clouds, I can't tell how far I'm pitched up. So that's a problem. Don't really like that. And I'm getting out of the clouds now, so it's a little bit easier to tell which direction I'm going. And I look around, I don't see anybody, so I'm going to start to drop down, because once I get up here, I should be able to see some stuff, and stuff is not what I'm seeing here. So I know where the ground units are. Those are fixed on the map. You can always see those through the clouds. So I'm going to kind of work my way down here. Now, in this mode, like I said, if you go too fast, parts of your plane are going to rip off. So I need to be really, really careful about that. So I'm going to reduce my engine as I start this descent, because I don't want it pushing me, or pulling me, rather, faster towards the ground. I'm low enough in the clouds now, I can see some indicators here. I'm actually going to kill my engine, and that may screw up the audio for the rest of the video. I did an earlier recording in a War Thunder video, and whenever I killed my engine, it just never, the sound of it just never came back in the replay. But the reason I killed my engine is because I don't want to tear myself apart when I come down here by diving on this little red dot at 1 trillion miles an hour. So, and I'm turning here also, not only to get better positioning, but to slow myself down. Because as you turn, you lose speed. I can't tell what that dot is exactly. I just kind of saw it down here and marked it. So it's a pea shooter, which is a really weak American plane. And I miss, I think, most of my shots. So I arch up to lose some more speed. I've now kicked my engine back on, but you can't see that. And it's a pea shooter bot. So in some of these, when there aren't enough players, you see bots. Now it looks like I'm missing, but I'm not. So it's a lot like sniping replays on other games that have server-side stuff going on. So he's gonna crash. I'm gonna get the kill. You don't really get very much for killing bots, but I did. And now I'm over this airfield, which is not really a place that I want to be. Because, hi friendly flying over me. I don't really want to be here because there's a lot of flak from the ground flying around, and that would kill me instantly if it caught on to me. So I see another red dot, little dot here. You might not be able to see it on the YouTube quality. And again, I have my engine on, but you just can't hear it. So that's flak hitting me. We see that red plane go down. That's an F-2A that was directly ahead of us. Had a Yak-1 up there helping me out. Take some more flak. trying to get myself sorted out. I get attacked. I hear that. I flip around. There he is right there, the guy that attacked me. I turn better than him. He's an American P-400. And I'm trying to get myself positioned, but there's a hurricane coming on me, so I got to get out of the way. So he tried to head on me, and I dodged him. So there's him. There's the hurricane. And there's a yak diving him, so he gets off of me. And there's that P-400 again. I kept in my mind that he was still around. So he circled around, and right as he was going to pull the trigger, I turn out of his way. I think that hurricane's going to kill me, so I take some desperation shots, but all of them miss. I'm looking for that hurricane, and there he is. He's not pointed at me, so I'm not really worried about him as much anymore. And now I'm just going to chase down this P-400. I take some shots from that hurricane. He ended up coming back. But the P-400 makes a pivotal mistake. He could have run away from me, probably. But he chose not to do that. So he turns into me, does the P-400. I'm turning better than he is. So he's basically screwed at this point unless he runs away. He keeps trying to turn. He can't do that. I light him up with some machine gun shots. And now he's climbing up, which is a death sentence. There's no way you can escape that. I'm having trouble with the realistic here because my plane doesn't move quite the way I thought it would. And there we go. So he's going to go down now. Blow! And that hurricane that was on me managed to screw up my elevator pretty badly, but he's dead now. And so kudos to the yak that saved my life from that hurricane. But I showed you some pretty easy ways here. When people try to take head-ons with you, you don't want to take them. It's a pretty simple reason. I'm going to kill some AA because the game's over. You don't want to take head-to-heads because best case scenario, basically, is you both die. And I don't want to die. I want to get the kill and live. So we get these two AAs, and that's the end of the game. So yeah, that's realistic mode in the i-16 E-Shack. So I hoped you had a little fun looking at this. Realistic's a little bit of a different dog to play with. A little bit slower paced, a lot harder to manage the actual fighting. But, you know, I had a lot of fun. It was neat. I got to use a lot of the stuff that I've learned about dogfighting in World War II there, to a degree. Mainly the simple tried and true rule of don't take head-to-heads, even when two people try to take them with you back-to-back. Unless you know you're gonna win, and I didn't think I was gonna win.